Caldor and Dixie fires continuing to put off a lot of smoke and filling parts of the valley, the foothills, and the Sierra with dangerous levels of smoke in the air. Here you can see our satellite image as we headed through the afternoon hours. Mostly the Dixie fire is what's been filling the valley skies. The Caldor fire with those north and westerly winds kind of pushing that smoke all the way up through the Tahoe Basin and parts of the Sierra with hazardous air quality at times, especially when we saw that explosive growth coming off that fire overnight Monday into Tuesday. As far as our winds throughout the evening, we will see a bit of a southwest flow coming in from the Pacific. It's really not strong enough, though, to start to scour out some of the smoke that we're seeing throughout the valley. Meantime, on the fire lines, what's been happening for today is we've had these north and westerly winds and pushing that fire line there, especially for the Caldor fire, more off to the south and east. So you can see some of these hot spots that we've been following here. And that's basically been the direction. There will be a slight shift for tonight, but overall, the wind pattern isn't particularly strong. As you can see during the early evening hours, those north and westerly winds continued for much of the Caldor fire with that perimeter drawn all the way up towards Highway 50. That is the line that we've been very closely monitoring. It's already crossed Mormon Immigrant Trail, and we're also following Highway 80 right there at the bottom of our screen. Highway 88 there, I should say, is what we're going to be following, as well as on the west side of that fire line, depending on how those winds develop overnight tonight. And again, they're expected to pick up a little bit off to the east, but not particularly strong. Meantime, up towards the Dixie fire, not a lot of hot spots on this one, but we still have some hot spots around the Westwood area. So we've had live reports coming in from there saying that they're going to keep things pretty quiet and make sure that everybody's out of the area for the potential of some fire growth there. But these north and easterly winds have been pushing that fire line ever so slightly here, with a few hot spots pushing off to the south and west. Not a whole lot of hot spots, but a lot of smoke on what is now the largest single fire in California history. Here you can see how large that perimeter is with those north and easterly winds continuing, and there's not going to be a whole lot of change with those winds there. However, on the Caldor fire, we will see some changing wind conditions again out of the east to northeast, so we'll have to watch that west side and also that south side of the Caldor fire. Then we pick up those west and southwesterly winds, much like what we've been seeing over the past 24 hours, which is kind of some good news, because at least that gives firefighters a very similar pattern for firefighting tactics that they've had to fight over the past day or so. As far as the Dixie fire, what we're seeing again, a continuation of those north and easterly winds, so a similar pattern developing not only during the day but during the night. But as we look off to our west here, look at how those north winds just supporting all of that smoke growth through the valley. In fact, it's been filling the skies throughout our Wednesday. Really unhealthy air throughout the valley, hazardous air right along the fires there for the Caldor and the Dixie fire. So when we take a look at the picture here for valley winds, what we're seeing is some dangerous conditions really on the west side of the valley that will continue not only into our Wednesday evening, but now we're looking at that continuing into our Thursday as well. They'll be calm in the morning, but unfortunately what that means is we're going to keep all the smoke that we build during the day right here socked in for this bowl that we have. Basically, nothing can escape, and we see that very typically during the summer months. And then during our Thursday afternoon, look at these winds, how they're really sharp over towards the west side of the valley, parts of Shasta, Trinity as well. Once we pick up those southwest winds stronger Thursday evening, that's going to start to push that smoke north and east. Tahoe perhaps getting a little bit worse periodically, but we'll also see some clearing from time to time. So let me take you through that. What you're going to notice, and these contours here, the colors that we're looking at, the red is going to be the unhealthy air. The purple is going to be the hazardous air. Not surprising, that's directly around those fires. But we see a bit of a pattern shift with those east winds that's going to push a lot more smoke west into the valley and even towards the Bay Area. We're seeing that all the way to the coast. But we've got a couple of fires, the Monument and the McFarland fire, also burning along the northwest coast. So that's going to be putting off some smoke there throughout northwest California. Thursday afternoon, we're still seeing quite a bit of smoke for the valley. A bit of clearing, though, as we head over towards that 80 and 50 corridor up north of I-80 as well. But again, so a little bit of smoke starting to push its way back towards the Tahoe region as those southwest winds start to kick up, clear out the valley ever so slightly. But our red flag warning continues for parts of the Sierra through 8 p.m. on Wednesday. But on the west side of the valley, we're going to continue with that all the way into our Thursday forecast.